how to actually release limiting beliefs, negative thoughts, so that you can believe in yourself and achieve your goals. Hi and welcome back, it's Ellie again at Ethereal, and I hope everybody is well today. Thanks for coming on, stopping by. But you always see videos about leave negative thoughts behind, leave limiting beliefs behind, start to believe in yourself, ignoring negative self-talk. How do we actually do that? Well, today I'm going to show you with actual methods, strategies that you can try. Side note, I'm probably going to be talking about subconscious mind quite a lot. If I'm talking about the subconscious mind, it simply is the place where all our thoughts and beliefs live. And we're going to dig into that subconscious mind and rip out the negative ones. So if I mention the subconscious, that's what we're talking about. I'm going to give you 6 different methods. It could be something for everyone there or something that everybody can relate to. Okay, step number 1. Start small. Firstly, you need to start with small, achievable goals that you know for sure that you can do and that you can achieve. Just practicing achieving small goals reinforces your belief that you can and you will get your goals. It takes away the fear factor. It builds on a level of confidence so that you begin to believe in yourself, trust yourself, and believe that you can achieve any goal that you want to. Also, when you start to achieve these small little goals, you'll get little hits of dopamine, which will spur you on to take on another goal and another goal and another goal, and you won't realize it, but your goals will get gradually bigger. You'll get a level of fulfillment where you feel like, yes, I'm achieving these goals. Yes, I'm achieving these small goals. And these small goals begin to escalate into medium-sized goals, and then into large goals, and then into extra large goals without you actually even realizing that you've upsized your goals. So like anything, you've got to practice. You've got to practice to get better at it. And it's the same with your goals. So we start small. We start practicing achieving the small ones. We start practicing achieving the medium-sized ones. And that is all it's about. If you start with a big goal and you overface yourself, you're already done for. You're like, I'm finished. So start with your small goals and practice them. Stay consistent at them. Practice writing down your goals. Practice ticking off your goals. Practice even having goals in the first place, okay? What do you actually want? Get clear on that. And practice the small goals first. So with practice achieving the small goals, you'll eventually reach your big, scary goals because they just don't seem so scary anymore. You're so used to achieving now. You're so used to believing in yourself, and you're so used to just ticking those goals off and getting them little dopamine hits to spur you on further. Okay, example time. Okay, so this is a gym-related goal, a wellness and health and fitness related goal. You start with the small goals that you know you can tick off. For example, a small goal may be buy your gym membership. Tick, easy, done it. The next small goal might be buy a gym set, buy some gym trainers, because you are setting the intention now that you are on this gym journey and you are going to get it no matter what. But because you start starting small, it's exciting, it's new, and it feels a bit easy for you, so it spurs you on. So tick, we've now ticked off our buying gym set, buying gym trainers, whatever. Ready to go. Okay, so then we might move on to a medium-sized goal. Actually going to the gym. But we go to a gym class that somebody leads us in with a friend. So it doesn't seem as scary. We've just upped the level a little bit. We've enjoyed the class, big tick. Then we might move on to a slightly bigger goal. So it could be going to the gym alone and going to the gym not in a class, but just, you know, freestanding in the gym, doing free weights or leading yourself. Cool, so we've got used to doing that. We've got used to going to the gym with a friend, now we're going alone. We've got used to going alone, now we're getting a really big feel for the gym and we're loving it and we're enjoying it and we're seeing progress. These dopamine hits are going tick, 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 tick every single day that we go. So then we might step it up again and step it up again and step it up again until 2 years down the line, you're now in a bodybuilding competition and you love it. And then maybe another year down the line, you're a personal trainer. A year down the line from that, you are, it's your full-time job, you're a personal trainer, you take part in bodybuilding contests, and you also now train people that were just like you. Can you see how we've gone from just simply buying a gym pass to now it being our full-time job that we live and breathe? Imagine that you started that goal off with, I want to be a full-time personal trainer who enters bodybuilding competitions, but you never step foot in a gym in your life. Your brain has already gone, we don't know what we're doing, eradicate that goal, and the goal's gone. So do you see how just starting small, building on it, and adding substance and value and knowledge to every single step and every single layer builds and builds and builds and builds until we get to this big goal that we didn't even ever think we'd be capable of? So that's my first strategy. Start small with your goals. Just write out the smallest, most simplest goals that you can think of. Write them down on a sheet of paper with tick boxes next to them and just think, what's first? Just start with the first, smallest step and do it. Work your way up, work your way big, don't overwhelm yourself, and that's how you're going to stick to your goals, because you're going to get in the habit of doing that. You're going to get that little dopamine hit every time, and every time you do a little goal, you're going to gain more knowledge, you're going to gain more confidence, and in turn, that's how we get our big goals, because we believe that we can do it. We've reframed a limiting belief, we've reframed a negative mindset, we've reframed ourselves from being overwhelmed to building progressively. So that is step number 1. Okay, method number 2. This one's called argue in your favor. Personally, this is one of my favorites. Maybe because I just always like being right. So if you're like me, this one will work for you. Firstly, it doesn't matter how you do this, the concept that matters. So you could either write down your limiting belief, you can stand in a mirror and say your limiting belief, or you could just not look in the mirror and say your limiting belief and talk to yourself out loud. But it's got to be yourself, so make sure you're in maybe like a quiet room where people aren't going to look at you like, oh, what are you doing? Unless you're writing it down, then you can do that anywhere. Okay, and what I want you to do is state your point. My limiting belief is, we'll do an example at the end, but let's just go through the structure first. Then I want you to argue against that like a lawyer. Pull it apart, find all the evidence against that limiting belief. So what this firstly does is just identifying that it's a limiting belief and arguing against it makes us believe that it's not true. We do not believe it because we're arguing against it. We're choosing that's not true, and I'm going to give you the evidence why it's not true. You've removed its power over you because you've took it objectively, placed it in front of you and gone, I'm going to argue against you. You're searching for reasons in your goal's favour by arguing against the limiting belief. I find this so exciting and fun because you're in your favour. You're getting to really talk about your goals with passion and joy and backing it up and giving all the reasons why this is going to work for you, rather than what your brain normally does and says why it isn't going to work. You're still channeling your vision, just minus the anxiety. You're feeding a new narrative into that subconscious brain. So, an example of this would be, I'll go grab my journal because I do this all the time. I love this method, it's my fave. My point was, I can just never build a business. That's what I believe all the time. I think, oh, I have so many setbacks all the time whenever I try building a business that it just can't happen. Then I make some evidence against this. My evidence being, this has to happen to me because I am going to make sure it happens to me. I'm going to make sure I have a business because every day I research on YouTube. how to grow a business. Every day I write down content ideas. Every day I journal all my issues and things I've got over in growing a business. Every day I write down in my big blue folder, I've got ideas for products, ideas for courses, ideas for YouTube videos. That's my evidence as to why this belief can simply not be true. And then I like to end this with a closing statement, like a lawyer would. I choose to believe that I will have a business one day. I choose to believe this because that's what I want to happen and that's what I'm going to make happen. And the evidence proves this. I'm getting up every day, I'm staying consistent, I'm staying motivated, I'm staying excited. Even on the crappy days, I'm pushing through. That's the evidence as to why this business will work. So I'm just going to summarise on that point in case I've confused anyone. Name the limiting belief that you are releasing. Then give some evidence against it like a lawyer would as to why this limiting belief is absolute shit. And give a bit of an analysis statement of you choosing to believe now that you've released that limiting belief. So another example could be, I'm a shy person who doesn't like public speaking. I release that belief, my evidence being, I am now starting a YouTube. I am forcing myself out there to speak on camera. That's not easy. I'm forcing myself to book events where I'm going to speak out loud. So that statement cannot be true. My analysis, the statement I am now choosing to believe is that I can practice speaking in public. I can practice making YouTube videos and I can work on my confidence. Okay, so that's step number 2. Argue against it like you're a lawyer. Literally tear that limiting belief apart and give all the evidence you can as to why it cannot be true. And then make sure you state in what belief you now choose to believe. Flip it on its head. Yeah, number 3, this is called respectfully STFU. Shut the F up. Okay, so this is something I do all the time from the minute I wake up in the morning. I am saying respectfully STFU. So what actually is this concept and method? This method is actually used in counselling. It's used in addiction, rehabilitation programs, for people who are learning to walk again, things like that, because these are all battles that we have to face physically but also mentally. And it's used in lots of different ways. So I'm just going to give you a few examples of how you can use it and how you can make it work for you today. When your brain gets that tingling sensation or a blockage, or you feel like you're going to freak out, you feel like you're going to spiral, do you understand that feeling I'm thinking about? Just think of a situation where you've frozen and gone, I can't do that, or you've freaked out, or you've just stopped, or your brain starts spiraling into one bad thought and another bad thought and another negative thought and another limiting belief. Can you identify a situation where that's happened to you? What I want you to do whenever this happens is instantly say stop. Or some people have elastic bands on their wrists and they ping them. This was something I was taught to deal with my anxiety. Like when I get anxious thoughts, ping it. You choose what word, what action, whatever is going to work for you. This limiting belief is your ego talking. It's your scarcity mindset talking. If you can shut it up, just like that, just say shut up, it gives your intuition a chance to interrupt. So how it works is it cuts off your brain's logical thinking pattern. Whilst you're spiraling and just spurting out all these beliefs that you truly believe, like I can't do this, I can't do that, when you say your word, your phrase interrupts that pattern of thinking. And whilst it's interrupting that pattern of thinking, it gives you a little space, like a little chance where you can insert positive belief here. And it works. This is something that really does take practice. Firstly, just identifying when we are being negative, when we're being over anxious. It takes practice, but it truly works. It works a treat. For example, mine is respectfully STFU. That's what I say in my head. So I like to go to the gym at 5 o'clock in the morning, and every time I wake up my brain goes, you're gonna be so tired today, oh just have another hour, just get some more sleep while your baby's asleep, toddler, sorry, or that extra hour could really do you the world of good, or it's still dark outside, it's still cold outside. And I say respectfully, shut the F up. And because I've said it, it gives me that window of opportunity to leap out of bed and start getting dressed before my brain starts filling it with subconscious negativity again. So what word do you think would work for you? What action do you think would work for you? Like, I know sometimes people clap because that physical sensation also does the same thing for them. Like I said, sometimes people ping. I know that Mel Robbins uses 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, or 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. I can't remember. And her theory went like worldwidely famous. And I'd only just heard about this the other day and I couldn't believe it because I was like, no way, I've been doing that my whole life, but just saying something different. It's so proven to work. And she speaks about in her podcast how they actually use that in rehabilitative treatment when they're trying to get patients to walk and they start saying, I can't do it, I can't walk. But the trainers know that they can get these steps in. They say, right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop, let's go. And it's the same with addiction training and mental well-being training and anger management and things like that. I've been looking into a lot of theories of how this can actually apply to so many different parts of people's lives, and it's crazy. Like, it's so crazy. I thought it was just little old me that was like, respectfully at STFU, but no, it's used everywhere and it's very proven to work. So if you're a little dubious of some of the other methods, try this one. This one is a favourite of mine because it really doesn't take that much. And also, when you do shut up those thoughts, you get this overwhelming sense of pride, like, yeah, go Ellie, you shut those thoughts up, you get up and go to the gym, and it feels good, it feels so good. So try it, you try this method, but let me know in the comments what you like to say or do. Mine is respectfully STFU. I've always got to be respectful. Number 4, grow your goals in a safe space only. Don't discuss your goals around people who are going to be super negative about them, around people who don't understand them, around people who don't understand their own goals. Because we as humans, I've seen it so many times, like people cutting other people down when they're having their success moments. Like, say you walk into a room and you're so excited about your goal, you've just spent all afternoon like thinking about it, making an action plan, like practicing your goal, and you run into the next room to tell your partner or your friend or your parents or somebody about your goal, and they're just like, to you, or they'd be like, yeah, but do this, or they just have some sort of negative impact on it. That goal isn't feeling like it can grow right now, is it? And the problem with humans is we project our own jealousy and our own limiting beliefs upon others. So if we believe we can't do something, then we also project that onto other people who do believe they can do something. And it's so sad. Like, just let people live, let people have their moment, but we don't, unfortunately. Our brain thinks it needs to speak out on everything to everyone. So keep your goals in a safe space. Only speak your goals around people who are on the same wavelength as you. They might have similar goals. You could speak in forums with people who have those same goals and beliefs that will help you grow. You know, we are a product of the people we spend the most time around. So in order for us to grow as a person and our goals to grow, they need to stay around the people that have the same energy as it. We want our goals in a place where they can grow and be nurtured, where they're in a safe space. So just a little reminder to only speak your goals around people who are going to embrace them, nurture them, and love them, as if your goals was a little baby. And if you don't feel like you have a community or people you can speak to about it, then scripting is going to be great for you. Scripting just means writing down your goals in a journal or in a computer or in your phone notes, something like that. Also, it's actually been proven scientifically to be better to write down your goals because it takes a little bit longer, so you have to think about it while you're typing it. Whereas when we speak, sometimes we just speak without thinking, don't we? Whereas when you're actually transferring it down to written or typing, you have to think about it and then write it. So it kind of goes in twice. So scripting's a very good method for that. Or you could actually record it on your voice notes on your phone. I like to do this when I meditate. So I speak out my dreams and my visualizations onto a voice note, and when I meditate I play that over. So then I'm speaking it and then listening to it again whilst meditating and visualizing in my meditations. That's a really personal fave too. I'm going to show you how to structure your scripting so that you get the most out of it, so you're getting the most info from your dreams into it. You need to start off with your point. What is your belief? You now choose to believe, because remember, we're rewriting those limiting beliefs to more positive beliefs. The point could be, I choose to believe that one day my YouTube will have 100,000 subscribers. And explain it. Explain why you should believe it. This exercise is very similar to the argue against it one, by the way. I believe this because I work hard. I plan 3 videos a week and I edit and post out 1 video a week. So I spend all week writing my little YouTube plans so that I've got lots of content for you guys. That's why I choose to believe that belief. And then W, your why. Why do you want to believe this statement? For example, I want to believe this statement because I truly believe my content and knowledge can help others. Okay, so that's the little method I tend to use for scripting. It's a similar one to what we said before about argue against it. And it's P-E-W, your point. What subconscious point do you now believe? Your evidence or your explanation as to why you why you should believe it, and some more information about it. And then your W, which is your why. Why do you want to believe this belief? What changes can you make if you pursue this goal and this belief? Make it a positive. Don't speak in a negative context. Point number 5, see it first. This is about visualization. Visualize yourself doing the steps to your goals, having your goals. The way this reframes your negative beliefs and your subconscious beliefs is because your brain cannot actually tell the difference between thinking and visualizing something and actually doing it, because it's the same connections, it's the same patterns within your brain that happen every time. The more you practice and rehearse it in your brain, it's as though you actually keep reliving it out in real life, that it'll start to believe it. The more you rehearse it, the less resistant you'll be to the belief that it's going to happen. You're going to achieve that goal. So, for example, let's go with the same goal as my 100k subscribers on YouTube. You could start off visualizing the steps. For example, visualizing researching video points, writing video plans, and then moving on to filming, then moving on to the set and how my set looks, then moving on to how my makeup is and my clothes are. Because the more like context and knowledge and steps that we add to this goal, the more we can actually make it realistic. Because I do my makeup, so that's a realistic thing. So just adding that little comfort point and something that I already recognize into a goal makes the goal feel more believable in itself. Hopefully that makes sense. Basically, the goal feels less alien because I'm putting little steps in there and visualizing little steps that I'm already familiar with, such as doing my makeup, sitting in my bedroom, using my camera, writing my steps. They're all things that I do all the time. So that being mixed in with the 100k goal makes the 100k subscriber goal feel less scary because it's got familiar steps in there. Visualize in detail. So for example, visualize receiving the 100k plaque, the silver plaque that you get off YouTube in the post. This has always helped me because I always think it's impossible, I'm never going to get 100k, blah 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 blah. So when my brain slips, I imagine the postman knocking on the door and receiving the plaque. I imagine opening the plaque. I imagine the plaque being silver and shiny and swiping my finger across it. And the happiness I feel and relate to that, and the excitement when the postman knocks at the door when I'm doing these visualizations, keeps me back on track. It gets rid of the anxiety and it makes me excited again. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm so excited about this goal again. I feel re-energized, let's get back to it. Whereas literally 10 minutes previous, I was slipping and thinking, I'm going to give up because what's the point? I'm never going to be able to do it. Whereas when you visualize that goal coming to you and getting it and what it feels like, and like, oh, I feel so excited, use that energy and use that energy to get yourself back on track and stop that anxiety, because what do you need to be anxious of? You're in control of your goals. Okay, point 6. This is one that you've probably heard of before, but repetition and affirmations. So there's 2 ways you can apply affirmations to your life. Number 1 is doing it every day as part of your habits and routine, or number 2 is doing it in situations and scenarios or specific circumstances. The affirmations is simply repeating positive enforced statements again and again and again until it feels like it's seeping into your brain and you truly believe something. Now, this is scientifically known to work, and a lot of people swear by affirmations. Some people, it's not for them. I mean, I'm not that much of an affirmation girl, but that's because I prefer to use the other methods of visualizing and arguing against it. But this video is for everyone, and I want everyone to be able to find something from it today. You could practice general ones every morning and every night. You could make this part of your habit routine. Brush your teeth or wash your face, you do your affirmations in the mirror. Just you reinforcing that and repeating it gives you a sense of purpose and a sense of belief. Brushing my teeth every morning makes my teeth clean, and washing my face every morning makes my face clean. So saying my affirmations every morning makes my mind clean. If you add it into a routine like that, it becomes so positive and visual for you. You could do it every night before bed to clear the bad thoughts out for the day. Say, I am blessed, I am truly grateful, life always works out for me, I'm going to have a lovely night's sleep. I'm just repeating those phrases, and you can change them. You don't have to do the same ones all of the time. Or you can use affirmations, which I actually do it this way, in certain high energy, high emotion situations. For example, a job interview. Say you go to the job interview and you're in high anxiety, you're very like flapping around, you're nervous, you're doing this with your hands, and you're I'm not gonna get it, I'm not gonna get it. That thought pattern's running through your brain. Stop a minute. Let's feed our brain some more positive affirmations rather than, I can't do this, I won't get the job. You are sat in the waiting room for your job. You should really rehearse some affirmations to yourself, as though you had the person you loved the most in the world sat next to you saying this and you were saying it to them. But say it to yourself. You should love yourself. You should love yourself the absolute most. But if it helps, visualize you saying it to your partner or your child or your parent or somebody you truly love, because it just defeats that barrier of self-love that we've got then. Imagine yourself being sat next to the person, whilst you're in this job interview, being sat next to the person you love the most, and they're the one going for this job interview. What do you say to them? What do you say to them? You might say to them, you are perfect for this job. You have all the skills that you need. You are going to smash this interview. You're going to be yourself in this interview. You're going to be confident in this interview. You are going to smash it, and just keep repeating and repeating and repeating those phrases. Say it out loud. Say it in your head, whatever works for you. So what this does, it gives you a positive reinforcement. So whether you do actually get that job or not isn't the point. What this does is gives you the most confidence and the best shot at getting that job. It gives you the ability and the confidence to know that you're going to walk in there and give it your all because you're in the right mind frame. You feel confident, you feel like, I can get this job, I know what I'm doing in this job, I am going to give it my all, I'm going to give it my best, I'm going to be my most authentic self. So regardless of if you actually get the job or not, you've gone into that interview and given it your best shot. You've given yourself the most confidence and the best leg to stand on. So why don't you try that in a high intense situation? Next time you feel a bit stressed, or you're in like a situation where your emotions are beginning to spiral, repeat these affirmations to yourself. This one goes perfectly in hand with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 or the respectfully shut the fuck up method, because what you firstly do is say respectfully STFU. It stops the brain pattern and then gives you an opportunity to put these affirmations into place. So maybe try linking them together. So respectfully STFU, I am great, I am powerful, I can do this. And that is so powerful, because you would be surprised at how far you can get in life and how much you can get just by having a self-belief and a self-love and a self-worth complex. We are all humans on this earth, and we are all deserving of our goals, our dreams. We're here for such a short amount of time, so why shouldn't we live life to the most fullest? Why shouldn't we love ourselves the absolute most? Why shouldn't we champion our own stories? I'm gonna leave that as an open-ended question for you guys, because if we're gonna be in this brain for 80 average years, then we should at least speak a bit nicer to ourselves, shouldn't we? I'm just going to insert a little clip of my 3-year-old son, because we do affirmations together every morning and every night, and they're very powerful for him because I have watched it work. I have witnessed it work. I have witnessed him trying to fathom something out when he's playing a game and he's a bit stuck and he's getting irate, and he literally says, I am brave, I am strong, I can do this, because they're the affirmations that we say every night, and I've literally witnessed them become affirmations we say every night and every morning to actually working in real life situations where he feels stuck. And if that's not powerful, then I don't know what is. And he's 3, so I just think if he can keep them affirmations up for the rest of his life, he is going to be truly like have such a strong belief within himself and be powerful. So if it can work for him, then it can work for you guys.
Brave.
Brave. I am
Strong.
I am strong.
I don't do anything.
You can do anything. I am loved.
And I loved.
And then I am
Taser.
because that's the most important thing, right? And also on a side note, stop joking about your goals. Whenever you speak about your goals to yourself, to anyone, speak with conviction. Don't ever joke and go, yeah, I want to be a YouTuber. Because your brain thinks it's a joke now. It thinks it's a big joke. It doesn't take it seriously. Always speak with conviction as though it's the most certain thing that's going to happen to you. For example, if I just strutted about the house like, yeah, me and my 100k subscribers. I've got like 12 because I've just started. But I know that one day I'm going to get 100,000 subscribers on here because I want my message to be powerful, positive, and help others. So I'm going to take this clip one day and be like, there we go, that's how I manifested my YouTube channel. But right now, I just want you to be certain about your goals as though they're the most certain thing that's going to happen in your life. Okay, reflection section, and to conclude. So let's just quickly run through all the practices again. Number 1 was start small. So start ticking off the small little goals, getting those dopamine hits, and slightly amping it up every time until you don't even realise you're achieving big goals here. Number 2 is argue in your favour. So that's take your limiting belief and give all the evidence like a lawyer would against why that limiting belief is a pile of crap. Number 3 was respectfully STFU, which is where our brain starts spiralling. We just literally tell it to shut up a minute so that we can insert positive belief here. Number 4 was grow your goals in a safe space. So that's talk in communities or people that you trust. If you don't trust people, script it, record it, write it in your notes, whatever helps you, say it as reminders. Number 5 was see it first, which is all about visualization. So if you visualize your steps, your brain uses the same logical patterns that it does in if real life if you was actually doing it, so it truly believes it's happened because you've already visualized it. Therefore you can actually go and get it because your brain believes it's going to happen, and how to actually get there. And then number 6 was your affirmations, which you can either do as part of your habitual routine or in high stress situations. And then the final note, I'm just going to reiterate again, never joke about your dreams because they're so important. Talk about your dreams as though they're the most assured thing that's going to happen to you, and they will happen to you. Okay, reflection section. What I want you to do is try out at least one of these methods, 3 if possible. Maybe you can link some, maybe you can add them into your different routine, but try them for at least 4 weeks. Give it at least a month. In fact, no, give it at least 2 months, because on average it takes 66 days for a habit to soak into your subconscious brain. So I want you to give it at least 2 months, and I want you to find what works for you, and I want to see what beliefs we're starting to believe now. And I know this works because they're tried and tested methods, not just by myself, by other people, and it's magic what our brain can do. And if we're on the same side as our brain and we believe what our brain is telling us and our brain believes what we're telling it, then we become unstoppable. And when we're unstoppable, we can achieve and manifest absolutely anything and everything that we want. So that's the energy I'm sending to you guys today, is that you can manifest whatever you want, and it's all just about believing that you can access that power. So let me know in the comments below which method that you liked the most. Have you tried and true? Anything that you don't like? What's worked for you? What beliefs are you releasing? Comment them down below because I'm intrigued to read. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by, guys. I hope that's helped someone. Bye!